Previously. In our last episode, you would have seen us leave Perth and camp at the impressive Stockton Lake. We then visited Gnomesville on our way out to Bunbury.
We arrived into Busselton and headed straight to a van park to check in. This was our site, not too bad at all. We set up, then headed down to the foreshore.
Feels like I got everything I need, but can't seem to get better. We're in over our heads. It seems better off dead.
Busselton is home to the second longest wooden jetty in the world. It goes out a whopping 1.8 kilometres to sea.
A lovely foreshore to go for a relaxing walk.
Later that afternoon, our good mates Blaine and Shenaid joined us. We grabbed some pizzas and caught up over a game of Monopoly.
What are we doing today, Kurt?
Down in Dunsborough.
Gonna go do some sightseeing with Blaine and Shenaid. Come down from Perth to join us in Busso for a few days. So yeah, we'll head to Dunsborough and do some sightseeing.
Sounds good.
Our first stop was to the Dunsborough markets for some coffee and have a look at the stalls.
We then headed up the road to check out some of the local beaches.
I'm over 3 time zones away, trying not to go crazy. Feels like I got all the answers.
There were some really pretty bays and beaches around Dunsborough. Check out this one. This was Eagle Bay and it was stunning.
We need resurrection. Realizing you and me, well, we're not so different. We both know we need to settle down.
We looked at our watches and it was lunchtime, so we headed up to Eagle Bay Brewing.
A rather fancy place with plenty of room. We ordered some drinks and waited for our food.
Later that afternoon, we decided to ride our bikes to the jetty and try our luck at squidding and fishing.
Ain't it funny how you and me, but we're not so different. We both know we need to say
We tried for a couple of hours and only Blaine caught a small squid.
running for our whole lives, trying to make our wrongs right. You and me are so different.
Well, unfortunately, the van park was booked out, so we could only spend 2 nights here. Never mind, it's time to move on.
We both know we need to settle.
Hey guys, so we're in the heart of Margaret River. We're about to go check into our next accommodation. We're staying on an olive farm for 6 nights, $15 a night. So you just need to be self-contained with a toilet. It's looking like it's going to be a great location to go out and explore the surrounds. Dog friendly. Yeah, we just passed a brewery up the road, about 3k. So yeah. Can't wait to check in and explore the place. It was a short dirt track from the bitumen to get to the entrance of the olive farm.
You and me are so different after all.
Upon entry, we saw this awesome welcome board with Aim's last name written on it.
We're gonna choose site Kelpie because Rusty is a Kelpie cross. With our site all chosen, we backed the van in and got ourselves set up.
We don't think Rusty really cared too much about the site name.
There's around 18 sites in total throughout the campground. Each site has been made so you don't directly see your neighbour across from you and just gives you that little bit more privacy than a van park. heading to Gracetown to check out a beach, and there's a reef, and just have a sort of easy morning by the beach hopefully. Probably go for a swim, pack the snorkels.
Bit of metal detect.
Yeah, might go for a detect. Got a little rust. Yeah, so on our way to Gracetown.
Well, we made it to the beach in Gracetown. What a nice little beach it was, and we only had to share it with half a dozen people there.
We swam out to the pontoon and did a few sick tricks.
Just up the road from the beach was a popular surf break with a couple of surfers out there waiting to catch a wave.
Well, after a couple of good hours soaking up the sun, we left and headed up the road to the Cheeky Monkey for lunch.
Here we are at Cheeky Monkey. Heard a lot of good things about this place, so we're going to pop in, have some beers maybe, and a bit of lunch.
It's coming! It's headed right for us! It's already here.
Whoa!
So
Let's go. We had been recommended by a fellow traveller to eat at this place. The food was delicious and the atmosphere was very relaxed.
We popped into the shop for a quick look before leaving.
On our way home, we stopped into a small town with some big quirks. It is filled with these cow statues.
Rusty was a little confused on why they didn't move when she barked at them.
You can buy all sorts of cow merchandise here, even cow print onesies.
We found a cool piece of street art and even wandered down to the nice local park, where you guessed it, we found more cows.
Day 2.
Hey guys, day 2, Margaret River region
And the surrounds.
and the surrounds. What have we got planned for today, Kev?
Today we're going to Eagle Bay beaches and all the beaches around there, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to head up to the top, sort of up near Busselton. West of Busselton, we like the beaches up there, so we're just going to go be beach bums for the day and just go beach hopping. Yeah,
Let's go.
get it boxy.
Before making it to the beach, we quickly ducked in to Sugarloaf Rock for a look.
Well, we made it back to Eagle Bay. Check out that glistening clear blue water.
We set up our umbrella and relaxed.
It's not hard to see why this was one of our favourite beaches in the area. It's simply stunning.
We spent a couple of hours just soaking up the sun and having a swim. After lunch, we decided to check out some more beaches up the road.
We found a few more cracker spots with more dreamy blue waters.
This was a cool spot, with the contrasts of the water and the rocks.
Now, you haven't been to Dunsborough unless you have visited Simmo's ice-creamery.
It's locally made and they have over 40 flavours at their store to choose from.
Kurt opted for a double scoop waffle cone, whereas I went all out with a triple scoop cup. We then headed out the back to the lovely lawn area to devour our sugar rush.
We then ended up back in Busselton. We walked along the foreshore again and visited the Railway House Museum, which was right beside the info centre.
Where are we today, Kurt?
Valley.
Checking out the Valley surrounds, just here at Surfers Point.
And heading to the river mouth. Have a bit of a fish.
And then maybe back through Margaret River for a bit of a look.
Yeah.
So we checked out Surfers Point in Prue Valley. A bit of swell about, but we didn't spot any surfers.
We drove up the road to the river mouth so I could have a little flick.
No luck fishing, so we headed up to the local boat ramp, which happens to have a nice cafe with great views.
After enjoying a morning coffee, we walked up and around the headland to try my luck at fishing again.
While Kurt went off in search for a fish, myself and little Rusty found a nice beach to wet our toes at.
Follow me to the mystery cave.
Carl's just over there.
Car park.
Another wiki camp special.
Bloody hell. So off into the unknown we went. We could soon tell that it was not a frequent track with lots of overhanging bushes and branches we had to duck under.
After a couple of minutes, we popped out at this stunning cave.
Not bad for a freebie, and check out this hole up the top. There was a huge beehive to the left of it.
Alright, So we're just going to take Rusty for a walk to the river here on the olive farm. We went there yesterday. It's a beautiful walk. So we'll take you guys along and you can have a look too. A nice easy stroll located on the olive farm property. Perfect for walking amongst the trees to stretch ours and Rusty's legs.
It eventually leads you to a nice riverbank on the edge of the Margaret River. I spotted a rope swing across the river, so of course had to have a swing. Even Rusty loved having a dip in the river. It's a nice little place to even have a picnic down here.
So out on the road again. Just spent the morning around camp relaxing. Took Rusty for a swim by the river. It's about lunchtime now and we're heading out to the Yallan Gulp area. 2 national parks, so we've let Rusty have a little nap back at home. And yeah, we're on our way to lunch.
Bushak Brewery.
Heard the Bushak Brewery's got good food, so had a light breakfast, ready for some good food, hopefully. Well, we made our way out to the Bushak Brewery, which turns out to have had a name change and was now called Breached Farm.
It was a pretty hip place with little quirks around. Turns out they must have changed the menu as well with the name change, as it was all Mexican-inspired dishes. Nevertheless, we were hungry, so ordered ourselves some food and sat outside.
It was a nice lunch, not as fancy as we were expecting though. We then headed into the town of Yallingup.
We walked down and checked out Torpedo Rocks before moving around to the south on the hunt for a snorkeling spot.
Went off on a little mission trying to find a bit of a snorkeling spot, but we couldn't find it 10 minutes in. But anyways, we're doing a little bit of the Cape to Cape track, doing it in our thongs, doing about 15 minutes worth. So yeah, so far so good. Kurt brought his fishing rod along for the walk, so of course he had to have a flick.
Well, no luck fishing, so we headed out to our last spot for the day, the Indigenous Natural Spa.
It's a large rock pool which fills with water from the ocean, which is pushed up and over the rocks on high tides only.
Don't be fooled, it definitely wasn't a warm spa, but still bloody amazing to see and soak in.
Hey guys, so it's Friday night.
Friday night.
and we've just nipped up the road to Colonial Brewing. They do $10 pizzas. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Colonial Brewing was only 3 kilometres up the road from the olive farm where we were staying.
We grabbed some beers and shortly after our pizzas arrived. Talk about quick service. Both pizzas were delicious, of course.
Where are we going, Amy?
We're heading to the farmers market in Margaret River.
Yay, market!
Yay, Kurt loves markets.
Yay!
We're going to go to farmers markets, get some hopefully nice fresh produce, and then have a look around the Margaret River precinct.
So let's go.
Straight to the farmers markets we went. It wasn't as large as I had anticipated, but still big enough to get a bunch of vegetables.
We then headed into the main street for a look.
The following day we finished off our Margaret River exploration by visiting the Margaret River Dairy Company.
It was then off to our last spot we have been saving out for all week.
The Margaret River Chocolate Factory.
It's got free samples! Yep, your eyes aren't lying to you. There are 3 large taste testing bowls full of chocolate to sample on as you browse around the shop.
They have all sorts of chocolates, and we even caught them making some Easter eggs.
Of course, we had to buy something. We bought some milk buttons.
Well, we loved our week staying here at the olive farm. Can highly recommend this place to others.
Not only do you get a welcome message on the board, you also get a farewell message too. How lovely is that?
Join us next time as we make our way south and into the town of Augusta and the surrounds.
Love our videos? Why not help support us on Patreon?
Don't forget to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button if you are new. Cheers, legends!